for Girls.
And I'm Leo.
And today we're going to show you how you can make curves using only straight lines. So this is something you can do at home. All you really need is a ruler and some paper and something to write with. So that will make it so you can do this. You said that you've done this a lot.
I do it with graph paper in class sometimes.
Right.
Because I get done with stuff and then I get bored.
Yeah, graph paper is a great thing to use if you have it, but if you don't have it, that's fine. You can just use a regular ruler. So the key thing that we're going to do is we're going to draw two lines, and it works easiest when they're perpendicular. So what does perpendicular mean?
It means that they are at a 90-degree angle to each other, or they are completely square. So that's a right angle, so they're like that.
All right, so I'm just going to draw a line. I'm going to draw a perpendicular line, like so. Okay, so far, pretty easy, right?
Yeah.
So the next part we're going to do is we're just going to make some marks at a uniform distance across both of these lines or both of these axes. So when we have the lines on a graph or a grid that meet, those are called axes.
Yep.
So that's just what we're going to do here. So for this, I'm going to go every, 2 centimeters, I guess. That sounds good. And so you'll need the same number of lines on the x-axis, or the one that's horizontal, as you have on the y-axis, or the one that's vertical. So I've got the same number of lines this way and along this side.
Yep.
Now we're going to start connecting the lines. So you don't want to connect the ones that are close to each other, because then you'll just end up with a bunch of parallel lines. Okay, what does parallel mean?
It means that they are the same exact lines, same angle, same direction, but they are separated from each other, so they will never touch.
Right, so they stay the same distance from each other in both directions forever.
Yep.
So that's not going to work. That's not going to give us any curves. So we need to be able to have our curves intersect in such a way that they're going to start to look like this curved line. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the one that's the farthest on one axis and the one that's the closest to the vertex,
Or the origin.
So basically where the two lines meet. And we're going to line up our ruler to connect those two lines. And we're just going to keep doing that.
Going the second furthest away to the second closest, and so on and so forth, continuing until you have drawn all of your lines.
So when you're finished, you have this nice curve like this that was made with only straight lines that I drew with my ruler.
Yep.
So it can be kind of fun to take these and to make different kinds of things at different angles and connect those lines. You can also play with the distance between them to make sure that you still have the same number of dots on your x-axis versus your y-axis. So you can see how that might change what the curve looks like.
Yep.
You could even change this angle too and see how that affects how curvy your line gets to be. So this is something you can do with just paper and pen and a ruler. But sometimes we want to do things that are a little more fancy.
Fancy.
And so one of the things that I have done is I have made this kind of art using embroidery floss. And this is part of a cereal box that I just poked holes in it, where the string needs to go through using a thumbtack. And that allowed me to take the thread with the needle and just push it right through. I'm not relying on the needle to poke the hole in the cereal box because I already used the thumbtack to poke that hole, but it allowed me to easily go up and down through those holes. And so I was able to make this kind of cool string art on a piece of cereal box that would have otherwise gone in the recycling. If you want to use something that's bigger or thicker like yarn, you might try using a hole punch to make the holes. You can even use pipe cleaners to make your straight lines. You can use ribbon to make your straight lines. Whatever you have that's going to allow you to make some straight lines. When you pull the threads through, you'll want to tape them on the back to kind of hold them secure so it doesn't loosen up. But that's really the only big trick for doing this on the box as opposed to on paper.
Yep.
So I hope you have a great time making some beautiful projects with curves made with straight lines. You can use all different colors. You can make lots of different designs. You can color in the squares I guess they're not really squares, the quadrilaterals that you created once you have made your design. And we would love to see what you have done. So when you are finished making your straight line curves, take a picture and share it with us using the hashtag NJFGprojects. Can't wait to see what you do. Have a great one.